Secret direction reset for people who have no idea what they're doing with their life anymore. Be careful with this video. If every option feels wrong, every path feels risky, and you're stuck in that fog of, I don't know who I am or what I want, this isn't failure. It's the start of a complete reinvention. Watch it till the end. If you're ready to stop waiting for the right answer and start building a life that finally feels like it's yours. You're here because you've reached that point. That moment where you look at your life and you just don't know. You don't know what direction to move in. You don't know which choice is right. You don't know what you actually want anymore. You don't even know who you are underneath all the confusion. Every path feels uncertain. Every option feels wrong. Every decision feels too big, too permanent, too risky. So you do nothing. You stay frozen, waiting for clarity that never comes, watching everyone else move forward while you're stuck in this paralyzing fog. Here's what you need to hear. This confusion isn't random. It's not a sign that you're lost forever or that you've somehow failed at life. This fog you're in, it's not the problem. It's the transition. You're not stuck. You're standing at the edge of a complete reinvention, and your system is shutting down the old operating system before it boots up the new one. If this is resonating, subscribe so these messages can continue finding you when you need them most. The death of the old map. Here's what's really happening. The map you've been using to navigate your life doesn't work anymore. The beliefs, the goals, the strategies, the version of success you were chasing, all of it has become obsolete. And your soul knows it, even if your mind is still trying to make the old map work. For years, you followed a certain logic. You made decisions based on what you thought you should do, what seemed safe, what other people expected, what looked successful from the outside. You built a life according to rules you inherited, not rules you chose. And now you're realizing that life doesn't actually feel like yours. The career path that seemed so clear now feels empty. The goals that used to motivate you now feel hollow. The person you've been trying to become no longer feels like someone you actually want to be. That's not failure, that's awakening. You're not supposed to know what to do right now. You're in the space between maps. The old one is dissolving, and the new one hasn't revealed itself yet. And yes, that space is terrifying, but it's also sacred. Why the pressure feels so heavy. You've probably been feeling an intense pressure to figure it out, to make the right choice, to find your purpose, to have a plan. Everyone around you seems to know what they're doing. They have direction, momentum, clarity. And here you are, paralyzed by indecision, drowning in options that all feel equally wrong or equally meaningless. The pressure isn't just coming from inside you. It's coming from a world that demands certainty, a culture that worships productivity, clarity, and forward motion, a system that punishes pausing, questioning, or admitting you don't know. But here's what that system doesn't tell you. Not knowing is not weakness. Not knowing is the beginning of genuine transformation. When you're willing to admit, I don't know what to do with my life anymore, you're finally telling the truth. You're finally dropping the performance. You're finally acknowledging that the life you've been living might not be the life you actually want. That honesty, that's the crack where the light gets in. Most people never get here. They stay on autopilot their entire lives, following someone else's script, never stopping long enough to ask, is this actually mine? You stopped. You questioned. You admitted you don't know. That makes you rare. That makes you brave. Your nervous system is overwhelmed. Listen to this part carefully. When you don't know what to do with your life, it's not just a mental crisis. It's a nervous system crisis. Your body has been running on overdrive, trying to figure out the right answer, trying to predict the future, trying to control outcomes you can't control. Your mind has been spinning in loops, analyzing every possibility, weighing every option, searching for guarantees that don't exist. And now your nervous system is exhausted. It's overloaded. It's shutting down. That's why you can't think clearly. That's why every decision feels impossible. That's why you feel frozen, numb, disconnected. Your system is in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you can't access creativity, intuition, or clarity. The fog you're experiencing isn't permanent. It's your body's way of saying, stop, we need to reset. You can't force your way through this. You can't think your way out of it. What you need right now isn't more information. It's regulation. It's rest. It's permission to not know. The illusion of the right choice. You've been torturing yourself trying to make the right choice, the right career, the right relationship, the right city, the right version of your life. But here's the truth that no one tells you. There is no right choice. There's only the choice you make and what you do with it. You're waiting for a sign, for clarity, for certainty, for some cosmic confirmation that you're on the right path. But life doesn't work that way. Clarity doesn't come before the decision. It comes after. You don't find your path by thinking about it endlessly. You find it by walking, by choosing something, anything, and seeing how it feels, by experimenting, by being willing to be wrong, to pivot, to change your mind. The paralysis you're feeling isn't because you don't know what to do. It's because you're terrified of making a mistake. You're terrified of choosing the wrong thing and wasting years of your life. But here's what you need to understand. Staying frozen is also a choice, and it's the choice that guarantees you won't grow. Every moment you spend waiting for certainty is a moment you're not living. You're not discovering. You're not learning who you actually are outside of your fears. The voices that aren't yours. Part of why you can't figure out what to do is because you're trying to please voices that aren't even yours. Your parents' expectations, your culture's definition of success, your friends' judgments, society's timeline, social media's highlight reel. All of these voices are layered on top of your actual desires, drowning out what you truly want. And when you try to make a decision, you're not asking, "What do I want?" You're asking, "What will make everyone else think I made the right choice?" That's an impossible question to answer, because everyone wants something different from you, and none of them are living your life. You've been so focused on external validation that you've lost touch with your internal compass. You don't know what lights you up anymore. You don't know what feels true for you, separate from what looks good to others. This confusion you're in, it's your system rejecting those external voices. It's your soul saying, "I can't keep living for everyone else. I need to find out what I actually want." And the only way to do that is to get quiet enough to hear yourself again. What your soul is asking for. Your soul isn't asking you to have it all figured out. It's not asking you to make the perfect decision or to know exactly where you'll be in 5 years. Your soul is asking you to get honest. Honest about what's not working. Honest about what you've been tolerating. Honest about the ways you've been betraying yourself to keep the peace, to stay safe, to avoid judgment. Your soul is asking you to stop performing and start feeling. What actually makes you feel alive? Not what should make you feel alive, what actually does. What lights you up when no one is watching? What would you do if you knew no one would judge you? These aren't easy questions, and the answers might scare you. They might not make sense. They might not fit the life you've already built. But they're your answers, and right now, that's all you need. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need the whole path mapped out. You just need the next true step. The one small choice that feels more honest than what you've been doing. Maybe it's saying no to something you've been forcing yourself to want. Maybe it's finally trying the thing you've been too scared to try. Maybe it's simply admitting out loud, I don't know what I want, and I'm going to stop pretending I do. That honesty is the beginning of everything. The quantum field is listening. Here's what's happening energetically while you're sitting in this confusion. The quantum field is waiting for you to choose. Not perfectly, not with certainty, just to choose. Every moment you spend in indecision, you're sending a signal of uncertainty into the field. And the field responds to your energy, not your words. It doesn't matter how much you say you want clarity. If you're vibrating at the frequency of, I don't know, I'm scared, I'm stuck, that's what gets reflected back to you. But the moment you make a move, any move, even a small one, the field responds. Doors open, information appears, people show up, synchronicities start happening. It's not that the universe was withholding from you, it's that you were withholding from yourself. You were waiting for permission, for proof, for a guarantee. And the universe can't give you those things. It can only meet you where you are. The confusion you're experiencing isn't a stop sign, it's a test. The universe is asking, are you willing to move forward without knowing? Are you willing to trust yourself even when you can't see the full picture? That willingness, that's what breaks the spell. What happens when you stop waiting? You've been waiting for the right moment, the right feeling, the right amount of clarity. But what if you stopped waiting? What if you just started? Not with the big decision, not with the life-changing move, just with one small step toward anything that feels more true than what you're currently doing. Because here's what happens when you stop waiting. You start getting feedback. You start learning what works and what doesn't. You start discovering what you actually like, not just what you thought you should like. You build momentum. Small actions create energy. Energy creates clarity. Clarity creates confidence. You remember that you're capable, that you can handle uncertainty, that you don't need to have it all figured out to move forward. And most importantly, you stop being a passive observer of your own life. You stop waiting for someone or something to save you, to tell you what to do, to give you permission to exist fully. You become the author again. You're closer than you think. You might not feel it yet, but you're closer to clarity than you've ever been. The fact that you don't know what to do anymore means you've outgrown the old answers. You've outgrown the script. You've outgrown the version of success that was handed to you. And yes, that's uncomfortable. Yes, that's disorienting. But it's also powerful. Because now you get to choose, not from obligation, not from fear, but from truth. Not knowing what to do with your life isn't a problem to solve. It's a portal to walk through. On the other side of this confusion is a version of you that's more honest, more aligned, more connected to what actually matters. But you can't get there by figuring it out. You get there by surrendering. Surrendering the need to know. Surrendering the need to be right. Surrendering the fantasy that there's one perfect path, and you just need to find it. Your life is asking you to rebuild it from the ground up. And that starts with one honest choice, one brave step, one moment of trusting yourself even when you don't have all the answers. You don't need to know what to do with your whole life. You just need to know what feels true right now. And then do that. The rest will reveal itself. Not all at once, but step by step, choice by choice, breath by breath. You didn't find this message by accident. You found it because you're ready. Ready to stop waiting. Ready to stop pretending. Ready to start building a life that actually feels like yours. This is your moment. Not when you have clarity, but right now, in the middle of the uncertainty. Trust yourself. Move forward. The path will appear as you walk it.